What up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Monday, October 17th, 2016, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Sienna Miller, Tom Holland, and Robert Pattinson attended their weekend's premiere of their movie The Lost City of Z at the New York Film Festival. A synopsis on the festival's website reads, James Gray's emotionally and visually replenisant epic tells the story of Lieutenant Colonel Percy Fawcett, a remarkable Charlie Hunnam, the British military man-turned-explorer whose search for a lost city deep in the Amazon grows into an increasingly feverish, decades-long, magnificent obsession that takes a toll on his reputation, his home life with his wife, played by Sienna Miller, and children, and his very existence. The film is set for theatrical release on April 21st. Director John Turteltaub has begun shooting his science fiction action thriller Meg, starring Jason Statham in New Zealand. The cast will also include Lee Bingbing, Cliff Curtis, Ruby Rose, Rainn Wilson, Winston Chow, and Maski Oska. The film is set for release on March 2nd, 2018. The synopsis teases a deep-sea somersault, a part of an international undersea observation program, has been attacked by a massive creature previously thought to be extinct and now lies disabled at the bottom of the deepest trenches in the Pacific, with its crew trapped inside. With time running out, expert deep-sea rescue diver Jonas Taylor is recruited by a visionary Chinese oceanographer against the wishes of his daughter Su In to save the crew and the ocean itself from this unstoppable threat, a prehistoric 75-foot-long shark known as the Megalodon. Oscar-winning actress Natalie Portman admits she initially had some reservations about playing the title character in director Pablo Larraín's big-screen drama Jackie. Asked by UPI on New York Saturday about the pressure she experienced in the run-up to portray Jackie Kennedy and how she ultimately presented the authentically human dimension of the iconic First Lady, Portman replied, "It was definitely scary." She said, "I never, pride myself on any ability to mimic or imitate. That wasn't necessarily. It wasn't really anything I've ever even tried before. But I always was like, oh, that's not my thing. And then you obviously would have to do that, taking this on. And I was like, oh no, I'm setting myself up for failure really big time here. Because people really know what she sounded like and what she moved like and, of course, what she looked like." She also added, "But I was so moved by both the script and then Pablo's approach, which was to examine, like you said, the humanity of someone we've only considered as sort of a symbol, that I was like, well, we're actors, we're not surgeons. If I mess up, no one's going to die. Let's do it." And working with Pablo felt safe in that way to try. So I worked with a coach, Tanya Blumstein, who was amazing on the dialect and voice, and we just listened over and over and over and over again to the White House tours in particular, and also to the transcripts of her interview with Life magazine journalist Arthur Schlesinger, which there are chunks of that in the dialogue with Billy Crudup's character, and that really helps sort of get the voice and the accent. And then once I was comfortable with that, you can just forget it, and then you're just focused on the emotion behind it. Co-starring Peter Sarsgaard, John Hurt, and Greta Gerwig, Jackie is to open in theaters on December 2nd. The film spotlights how U.S. President John F. Kennedy's 34-year-old wife coped with publicly and privately in the early days following his 1963 assassination. Steve Martin admits he didn't know what to expect when he was signed up for a role in director Ang Lee's drama Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. The movie was shot in a new, hyper-real digital format that makes the viewers feel like he or she is inside the picture. Martin said in a press conference in New York Saturday, "Going into it, I thought, I'm 70 years old. I'm going to be shown in high def with no makeup. I'm going to look fantastic. And you know how you take a photo of your dog with your phone and his nose comes out like this, and it's so cute because his nose is almost as big as his head? I thought, okay, I'm going to be in 3D. Is it going to be like my nose is out in the audience or what? But I prepared for the role. I went to fancy restaurants. I drove in fancy cars." He also added, "I was impressed by the idea of the technology, but by the time I got there, I've just kind of done enough. been in crazy situations, crazy things, shooting under crazy circumstances. So the camera was actually quite physically beautiful. I became very attracted to it. It's a gorgeous piece of machinery, and the operation of it is so skillful. And I think all the actors felt I can only act and do my job. In many cases, I felt like we weren't really acting somehow. It was quite a natural experience. I felt very comfortable in my role. I felt very comfortable in the environment, and it is like a process that's really, really fun, especially when you are working with very talented people. The screen adaptation of Ben Fountain's novel had its world premiere at the 54th New York Film Festival on Friday. It follows a young Iraqi war hero played by newcomer Joe Allen, who comes home with his fellow members of the Bravo Company for a victory tour. A synopsis reads, this culminates in a halftime show at a Thanksgiving Day football game, a high-intensity media extravaganza summoning memories of the trauma of losing his beloved sergeant in a firefight. Martin plays the wealthy owner of the football team who is considering financing a movie about the returning soldiers. Co-starring Kristen Stewart, Chris Tucker, Garrett Hedlund, and Vin Diesel, the movie is set for release on November 11th. AMC says it has renewed its widely popular zombie apocalypse drama, The Walking Dead, for an 8th season. Charles Collier, the president of AMC, Sundance TV, and AMC Studios, said in a statement, "Eeny, meeny, miny, more. What a joy to partner with Robert Kirkman, Scott M. Gimple, and some of the hardest working people in television to bring The Walking Dead to fans. Most important, thanks to those fans for bringing life into this remarkable series right along with us." The cable network Sunday aired a 2-hour recap special in the run-up to next weekend's highly anticipated Season 7 premiere, in which at least one longtime character is expected to be killed. The program includes fresh interviews with current cast members Andrew Lincoln, Norman Reedus, Melissa McBride, Chandler Riggs, and Stephen Yang, as well as their past co-stars whose characters have died, such as Laurie Holden, David Morrissey, Jeffrey McDemun, and Scott Wilson. AMC is rerunning all episodes of the 6 previous seasons this week. The marathon started Sunday. Saturday Night Live aired a black and white parody of Beyonce's Sorry video this weekend. Melania Laid featured Cecily Strong as the presidential candidate Donald Trump's wife Melania, SNL guest host Emily Blunt as his daughter Ivanka, Vanessa Bayer as Ivanka's half-sister Tiffany, Shashir Zamati as Trump's advisor Omarosa, and Kate McKinnon as his spokeswoman Kellyanne Conway. The Trump daughters can be strong as Melania can be heard in a voiceover as Trump's daughters and staffers sit in a stretcher limousine. Here lies my last nerve, Donald. I stood by you this whole campaign. You're beautiful, dutiful, Melania. I can't take it anymore. I am your wife. The women add one at a time, then in unison. Your daughter, your mouthpiece, your one black friend, your other daughter, and you're breaking us, taking it for granted that we'll always be there. Melania concluded, but one day, Donald, you may wake up and this bomb pussy blouse will be gone. The song then begins, and Ivanka can be seen walking through a lavish apartment in Trump Towers, where Melania sits in a chair with a leg draped over an arm. As the female voices sing sorry, Melania insists, I'm not sorry. The clip then shows the women disgusted by newspaper covers and television reports about Trump's alleged lewd behavior towards women and other controversies. Melania takes a baseball bat to a big screen when Trump appears. Tiffany destroys a painting of her papa and Omarosa hands in her resignation. All representation of Trump in the video is done by SNL VIP Alec Baldwin. The video ends with Baldwin as Trump appearing and saying to the women who are dressed up for a night out, let's go, you look very nice, but let's go. The women all acquiesce and start to follow him out the door when he says, Tiffany, wait here. She responds, oh, cool. Gary Busey is joining the cast of Perfect Crime, the longest-running off-Broadway play. Armin Hyatt, the executive producer of Perfect Crime, said in a statement, our playwright Warren Mazzie, who died earlier this year, would have been so thrilled that Gary is playing Lionel McCauley. It's perfect casting. Lionel is described in press notes as a brilliant, charismatic serial killer. Busey will play the role opposite Catherine Russell, a Guinness Book World Record holder for having never missed a performance in the show's 30-year history. Busey's 2-week engagement will run November 21st through December 4th at the Theater Center. The show also features Richard Sahlberg, Hugh Heisel, David Butler, and Patrick Rubustely. Busey's credits include Sharknado, From Dusk Till Dawn, Dancing with the Stars, The Celebrity Apprentice, The Buddy Holly Story, Gunsmoke, Lethal Weapon, and Point Break. Lifetime says it has ordered 6 one-hour episodes of the darkly comedic drama Mary Kills People. Created by Tara Armstrong, the series stars Caroline de Haverness as a single mother emergency room doctor who helps terminally ill people in need end their lives with dignity. The series ensemble also features Jay Ryan, Richard Short, Larry Bent, George Brick, and Charlotte Sullivan. John Moranis, the chief executive officer of producers of E! Online Television, said in a statement, with a creative team led by the incomparable Tassie Cameron, Tara Armstrong's richly layered writing, Holly Dale's expert direction, and an outstanding cast, Mary Kills People will be an intense and thought-provoking series. Lifetime is undoubtedly the perfect home for this topical and groundbreaking drama. The show is expected to debut next year. Former Charmed actress Rose McGowan posted a series of tweets revealing she was raped by a powerful man in Hollywood whom she did not name. McGowan tweeted Thursday, a female criminal attorney says, because I'd done a sex scene in the film, I would never win against the studio head. Hashtag why women don't report. The starlet continued, because it's an open secret in Hollywood media and they shame me while adulterating my rapist. Hashtag why women don't report. Another post read, because my ex sold our movie to my rapist for distribution. Hashtag why women don't report. It's time for some honesty in this world. Actress Olivia Wilde shared on Instagram Saturday a photo of her adorable newborn daughter. She captioned the image of her baby girl, there goes the neighborhood, who is wearing a blue patterned sleeper and snoozing on a giant flesh lamb. She tweeted Daisy Josephine Sudeikis, born like a boss, on hashtag International Day of the Girl. Wilde and her longtime beau actor Jason Sudeikis also have a 2-year-old son named Otis. Kristin Cavallari says her brother's death brought her closer to her children and family. The 29-year-old television personality and designer reflected on her late sibling, Michael Cavallari, in interviews this week ahead of the 1-year anniversary of his passing. Cavallari told People magazine on Friday, I've been kind of emotional about it. Anytime you lose somebody, obviously it makes you appreciate everyone you have in your life. She added, I definitely have been closer with my parents and my entire family in general. It makes you appreciate everyone you have. Michael was discovered dead at the age of 30 outside Salt Lake City, Utah on December 10th after being reported missing a few days previous. Cavallari had given birth to her third child, a daughter, Sailor, on November 23rd. She said to Us Weekly on Thursday, I did at the time, and I still do find it a lot of strength in my children, especially Sailor, just because of the timing of everything. Star added, you can't just stay in bed and feel sorry for yourself. You got to get up. You have other lives you have to take care of. You got to put food on the table. You got to get them dressed and off to school. Cavallari has shared similar sentiments in an interview with Entertainment Tonight in March. The television personality said at the time that she had good and bad days, but has really found the strength in her kids. She says, I had Sailor at the same time. My brother went missing and ultimately passed away. I couldn't collapse. I had a newborn baby to look after. I had to be strong for her and my whole family, so that's what I've been doing, she said. Cavallari is known for starring on the MTV series The Hills, which ended in 2010 after a 6-season run. She married NFL star Jay Cutler in 2013 and also shared 4-year-old son Camden and 2-year-old son Jax with the Chicago Bears quarterback. MTV announced that slasher series Scream will return for a 3rd season, but will feature only 6 episodes and a new lead who has yet to be cast. The new season will premiere in 2017, though the network did not confirm if Season 3 will be the show's last. The 3rd season also brings another change in the series' lead. First season leads Jill Bolton-Vogel and Jamie Paglia were replaced by Michael Gantz and Richard Register in Season 2. The series premiered with a 10-episode run, which was increased to 12 in its 2nd season, including a 2-hour Halloween special that will air on October 18th. Ratings have gone steadily downhill for the show, which was inspired by the Wes Craven film franchise. It started with 1.03 million viewers in its first season and dropped to just 341,000 in the second. Comedian Roseanne Barr was hospitalized on Tuesday after she fell in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park and broke her kneecap in 3 places. Barr tweeted a photo of her swollen knee with the caption, "Felt broken kneecap, did Hillary drone me? LOL." The 63-year-old actress is scheduled to undergo surgery on Monday. Barr said in a tweet, I really want to thank the very kind and wonderful #SF paramedics who had to cart my fat ass out of the Golden Gate Park over 2 hospitals yesterday. Sarah Gilbert, the host of The Talk, wished her TV mom well, saying the injury looked brutal. Gilbert says, we hope you get better fast. Rapper Pusha T released 2 new tracks this week, HDTV and Circles, which featured designer and Ty Dolla $ign off the upcoming album King Push. In HGTV, released on Tuesday, Pusha T calls out his fellow musicians. The bar's been lowered, the wells run dry, and offered words of encouragement to designer, telling Panda's rappers don't listen to them. The following day, Push released Circles, which featured designer on the bridge and Ty Dolla $ign on the hook. Both songs will be featured on Pusha T's long-awaited album, which is still expected to be released sometime in the fall. No official release date has been announced. In an interview with Rap Radar, Lil Wayne's manager Cortez Bryan reveals plans with Google to release Wayne's delayed album The Carter 5 for free. Bryan said, "We had to cut a deal with Google to where, and they were going to back the album, and we're really going to be able to give away Carter 5 free." But Wayne's ongoing feud with Cash Money Records founder Birdman has placed the record on hold, causing the deal with Google to fall apart. Wayne, who has hinted a possible retirement, says that he feels defenseless and mentally defeated. Lil Wayne's ex-wife Toya Wright revealed in her self-published memoir, "In My Own Words, My Real Reality," that Wayne has been texting her about possibly rekindling their romance. Wayne spoke about Wright in his own memoirs, Gone Till November, a journal of Rikers Island, noting that she was the first person to visit him in prison. He says, "I know I'm too wild for you, and it may seem as if I don't take love or relationships seriously, but believe me when I say I gladly straighten up and fly right for you." Kings of Leon released their 7th album, Walls, on Friday, along with the list of dates for their upcoming 2017 arena tour. The tour will kick off in National Harbor, Maryland on January 12th and end on January 28th in LA. The band will travel to Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto, New York, Chicago, Detroit, Broomfield, and San Francisco. Kings of Leon has high hopes for Walls, follow-up to 2013's Mechanical Bull. Lead singer Caleb Fallowell says, "We're trying to change people's perception of us. We have more depth on this album and more situations where we dipped our toes in before but never committed." He also added, "I know this is a pop-driven world, and what we do isn't necessarily at the top of the heap of music that people are listening to, but I feel like once people discover this album, it's going to change them." Taylor Swift is a fan of the band, having recently attended a private concert with the band and with friends Lorde, Suki Waterhouse, Cara Delevingne, and Lily Aldridge. Chaka Khan paid tribute to Prince backstage and onstage Thursday during a planned memorial concert for the late singer. Khan explained to Billboard about her first impression of Prince. "It was his first album for you. I fell in love with him as a musician before taking part in the tribute show alongside Stevie Wonder at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota." The singer said so much so that the first album, it didn't really catch on like you expected to, but when I heard that song, I Feel For You, I felt that we could not let this song go unheard or messed with. I got to bring it back. She continued about the track that would later cover to great success in 1984. After sharing how she first met Prince in person after he lied about being Sly Stone, Khan explained how talented the Purple One really was. The 63-year-old explained he is a quintessential master at efficiency and self-trust. He trusts himself completely musically. I know he trusts his musical sense. It's rare that you meet someone like that in a lifetime who fully trusts their instincts musically. We did a CD in 2 weeks' time. Whoever heard of that, I was amazed. He was a guy who knew what he wanted and knew how to get it, and did it in a very short time on this earth. Following the interview, Khan took to the stage to perform Prince's hit single 1999 alongside Wonder while donning a suit and purple shirt. Other guest performers included Tori Kelly, Nicole Scherzinger, Prince's ex-wife Monty Garcia, Prince's band's New Power Generation and Third Eye Girl, and Jessie J, who filled in for a sick Christina Aguilera. Previously scheduled performer John Mayer was also forced to drop out of the event due to a scheduling conflict. Beyonce tore an earlobe while performing at a concert in Brooklyn, but she continued singing and dancing despite the pain. Us Weekly reported the incident happened at the Title X 10:15 charity show, which also featured mini sets by Nicki Minaj, Alicia Keys, and Lauryn Hill. The recording artist's earring got caught in her long braid and ripped through her ear. She wiped away the blood, looked at it on her hand, and went on with the show. Billboard.com says Beyonce's representatives has no comment about the mishap. Ben Affleck's The Accountant is the #1 movie in North America, earning $24.7 million in receipts this weekend, BoxOfficeMojo.com announced Sunday. Coming in #2 is Kevin Hart, What Now?, with $11.98 million, followed by The Girl on the Train at number 3 with $11.97 million, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children at number 4 with $8.9 million, and Deepwater Horizon at number 5 with $6.4 million. Rounding up the top tier are Storks at number 6 with $5.6 million, The Magnificent Seven at number 7 with $5.2 million, Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life at number 8 with $4.3 million, Sully at number 9 with $3 million, and The Birth of a Nation at number 10 with $2.7 million. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1960, R&B legends The Drifters earned a number 1 pop hit with Save the Last Dance for Me. While many famous pop groups saw the changes in lineup over the course of their careers, none saw as many as The Drifters. From 1953 to 1956, the original lineup of The Drifters established themselves as R&B giants, scoring a number 1 R&B hit with Money Honey in 1953 and launched the solo careers of the legendary Clyde McPhatter. When McPhatter left the group, he sold his 50% ownership stake in the Drifters' name and song copyrights to his sole partner, the group's manager, George Treadwell. And from that point forward, Treadwell ran the Drifters as a business in which the group's singers were paid a modest weekly salary but did not earn in royalty earnings. This arrangement did little to encourage longevity among group members, but Treadwell's ear for talent kept the group relevant and successful for many years to come. Following McPhatter's departure in 1956, Treadwell ran through 6 different lead singers in 2 years before firing the entire group in 1958 and starting over from scratch. Version 2.0 of The Drifters was a group centered around lead singer Benjamin Nelson and originally called the Five Crowns. With that group taking on the new name The Drifters, and with Nelson changing his name to Benny King, a new era of success for the group began. Placed in the hands of producer Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller by their label Atlantic Records, these new Drifters scored immediate hits with There Goes My Baby in 1959 and This Magic Moment in 1960, followed by the song that topped the Billboard pop charts on this date in 1960, Save the Last Dance for Me. But this was not the last lineup of the Drifters to enjoy success. Following Benny King's departure in 1960, group member Rudy Lewis took over lead singing duties on the hits Up on the Roof in 1963 and on Broadway in 1963. And following Lewis's death in 1964, Johnny Moore took over the score, yet another hit with Under the Boardwalk. Considered the group's track record, it was little wonders that the voters for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame selected the Drifters for the induction in 1988 alongside the Beatles, the Supremes, the Beach Boys, and Bob Dylan. The thorny question was which Drifters to induct. For among more than 30 singers who have been Drifters up to this point in time, the Hall of Fame selected 7 for induction, including all 4 of the aforementioned lead singers, Clyde McPhatter, Benny King, Rudy Lewis, and Johnny Moore. And as your entertainment report for Monday, October 17th, 2016, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.